Today blood falls from Umir's brains as his bones become slippery and his eyelashes bend to the wolf of the land. Very dramatic weather report, isn't it? Every word in there is a Kining. But what is a Kining? What is a Heti? What even is this tradition? So there's this thing that was essential to Old Norse culture. A thing that isn't homophobic, transphobic, etc. And that is oral tradition. See, part of the reason that we lack as much as we do when it comes to the Old Norse worldview is that much of the mythos was communicated orally. And this is also what makes Norse symbology both beautiful and mysterious. For you see, what this means is that rather than painting with brushes, most of the time they would paint with words. This means, concretely, that they would at times substitute words to mean other words in order to create a more perfect picture. There is also an emphasis on poetry, which we will get to in a little bit. So to bring to life a bountiful oral tradition, we must first look towards the techniques they used. The first one we look at is called a heti. A heti is a word that is used as a substitute for another word. For example, the ship sailed across the salt. Here, the salt is being used as a stand-in for sea. The relation of a particular heti to what it refers to can be of several kinds. It can simply be a synonym, that is, a word so close in meaning that it can be interchanged with another. Synodoke, in which a part is used to refer to the whole, or vice versa. This is common when people say things like, he has nice wheels, wheels referring to a car or a bike. There's metonymy, where a concept becomes closely associated with a thing that it comes to represent that thing. For example, the Norse would call blood sword liquid. And of course, there's just plain substitution, such as calling a boat a snake. The next tool that was commonly used is what's called Kiningar. A Kining is a figurative compound that stands for something. In the weather report I mentioned at the start of the video, Ymir's blood is itself a Kining for water. And well, when water falls from the clouds, Ymir's brain, it's what we call rain. The wolf of the land, the one that pursues us, is a reference to wind. All of this can, of course, be expanded beyond the oral tradition, and in fact one thing I would love to see more of is heathen artwork using heathen symbology in the form of a heti or a Kiningar. For example, when representing wind in a picture, one could paint/draw the wolf, or have a snake which represents a fleet. This brings us to the matter of poetry in Old Norse. Old Norse poetry was alliterative. That is, rather than an emphasis on, say, rhyme, the focus was more on keeping accented syllables with matching consonants. But first, what is accent? Accent is the emphasis placed within the word. For example, it's noticeable when I switch the accent on the word Baltimore versus Baltimore. In Old Norse, accent falls on the first syllable of a word. This, of course, raises the question of what is a syllable. A syllable is the shortest unit of sound. For example, the word bird is a single syllable. In Old Norse, there are two ways to break up syllables. Which method you choose to write poetry is up to you. The first is to divide syllables before a vowel. Fara, kalla, gordum. Determining the length is then a matter of form. You have your short, which is your single vowel plus single consonant, your long, which is your single vowel plus a consonant group, and then another version of the long, which is a long vowel plus a short or no consonant, and your overlong, which is a long vowel plus a consonant group. The other way is to divide syllables so that non-initial syllables begin with a consonant. Fa-ra, ka-la, etc. Here the rule is simple. A short syllable is one that ends in a short vowel or ends in a long vowel followed by a weakly stressed short vowel. And all other syllables are long. So back to poetry. Rhyme in Old Norse consists of regular alliterations of lifts and sinks. A lift is a syllable that is both long and accented, and a sink consisted of one unaccented syllable, or two, such rarely three, consecutive unaccented syllables. This brings us to the base unit of Old Norse poetry, the long line. A long line consists of two half-lines called the onverse and the offverse. These half-lines are broken by a phenomenon known as alliteration. That is, the first syllable will usually alliterate with the second. The rules for alliteration are pretty simple.
every vowel alliterates with another vowel, and every consonant alliterates with the same consonant, i.e. hefhunt, havaihuk, etc. Also, yod also alliterated with every vowel, and SP, ST, and SK alliterated with each other respectively. The alliterating letters were known as stavir, and usually there would be one or two in the first half line and then one in the second. The half line was called visuort. In the first half line there were usually one or two alliterations, and in the second line regularly on the first lift. And with that, we have the very basics of Old Norse poetry. In later videos I will go over the exact meters which were employed. Until then, please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and if you wish to visit my Discord, please by all means do so. Hope to see you next time.